Hello, my name is Matt Kraus. I am the CV doctor in Istanbul, Turkey. The title of today's lesson is Use Keywords in Your CV. Why do you need to use keywords in your CV? Well, these days, almost all CVs are scanned into a database. And it doesn't matter at what point you are in your career. If you're a 24-year-old kid just starting out, the HR department is going to take your CV and they're going to scan it into a database. If you're 55 years old and you're applying for advanced positions, the headhunters are going to take your CV and they're going to scan it into a database. And then when it's time for the HR department or the hiring manager or the headhunter to fill a position, they're going to go to that database, they're going to go to their computer and type in some search words. And if that database doesn't turn up your CV, they're not going to call you. If your CV shows up, they'll call you. If it doesn't, they won't. So that's why you need to use important keywords for your industry on your CV. Now you might ask, Matt, how do I know what keywords to use? Well, right now I'm going to show you a tip on how to choose the right keywords for your CV. Well, one good place to start is in the job listings for the kinds of jobs that you want to apply for. Whatever profession or industry-related keywords they're using to describe those positions, use those same words on your CV. Let me give you an example. Take me. My professional background is in supply chain and inventory analysis. And let's pretend that I am going for positions that are also in this same industry. So I'll show you what I would do. So I'm going to the internet to some job sites to look for supply chain jobs. I'm going to read the job descriptions and find out what the important keywords are. So I went to Career.net, popular job site in Turkey, and I typed the keyword inventory into the search box. And here's one job listing I found at Avon for a demand planning specialist. Let's read this and find out what words they're using. Well, let's start with the job title, Demand Planning Specialist. There's two keywords, demand planning. If you're an HR person and the supply chain manager comes to you and says, we need to hire a demand planning specialist, the first two search words you're going to type into your database are demand and planning, right? Well, what else? Let's take a further look. Okay. They're looking for someone to work with the marketing department. So someone who has experience working with marketing people, they're probably going to prefer that candidate. So let's make sure the word marketing appears on our CV too. Other words I see: university, team player, I see estimates, I see tracking, I see analysis, I see reducing inventory, I see service targets, I see risk analysis, I see supply chain. These are all keywords that we need to make sure are on our CV. But before we add them to our CV, let's do a little reality check. Imagine the supply chain manager. He walks up to the HR manager's desk and sits down. The HR manager asks him, what are you looking for? If the keywords that you've written down on your list are the same words that he would naturally use to describe that position, then you've probably found the right list of keywords. For example, he says, we need a demand planning specialist, a university graduate, someone who knows how to work with marketing, a team player, someone who has done inventory planning, supply chain management, someone who can help me reduce our inventory. And then the HR manager is going to take those same words and type them into her computer. And the database is going to bring back a list of candidates for the interview. So if the keywords would sound appropriate in normal speech between that supply chain manager and the HR manager, then you're using the right keywords. So now that we have tested our list of keywords, let me show you how to find them on your CV, and if they're not there, then how to add them.
All right, let's start with demand and planning. We go to my CV and search it to see if it has those words. Let's start with the word demand. Demand. Appears once. It only appears one time. So let's see if we can find somewhere else to put it so it appears at least twice. We'll do that in a second. Let's check planning. Planning. Uh-oh. Planning is not there at all. We'll add that in a second. What else? Marketing. Marketing. Marketing appears once, twice, 3 times. Marketing appears 3 times, so we're okay with that. University. University appears once, twice, 3 times. 3 times. 3 times university appears. Inventory. Let's check the word inventory. Once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so the word inventory appears 6 times, so we're okay with that one. Service. Let's check for the word service. Service. Once, twice, 3, 4. 4 times. The word service appeared 4 times. And let's check the phrase supply chain. Supply chain. Supply chain. Yep, it appears once. Supply chain only appears 1 time, which isn't very much, but the single word supply, let's check the single word supply. 1, 2, 3, 3 times. So the single word supply appears 3 times, which is good. So we will concentrate on adding demand and planning into my CV. Okay, so go down under Progressive International, under Purchasing Supervisor. Progressive International Purchasing Supervisor. And see bullet point number 4 with inventory planners. I'm going to change that to with demand planners. With demand planners. With demand planners analyzed forecast deviations. Okay, so now demand is in there twice. Let's see if we can get planning in there too. Notice that the word plan, just the short word plan, P-L-A-N, is in the CV 4 times. Sometimes it's alone, just as plan, P-L-A-N. Sometimes it appears as planner. So the root word, plan, P-L-A-N, is in there already. We're just adding the specific word planning to make it a little better. One thing I noticed in the CV in general is that I use the word forecast 5 times in this CV. And the word forecasting and planning are pretty similar, especially in this industry. So maybe I'll look for the word forecasting and change it to planning. Let's see if there's a place to do that. Look down here under Eddie Bauer. Bullet point number 2. I already used the word forecast twice in that one bullet point. So I'm going to change the first one to store level sales planning. Change it from sales forecasting to sales planning. Now, the job description is looking for a demand planning person, and this is a sales planning position. But remember, we're just doing keywords here. So we just need the word planning to appear on the CV somewhere. All right, so now if I search the CV for the word planning, does it come up? Let me check. Let's go back up to the top. Search from the beginning. Planning. Boom, it comes up one time. That's fine. All right, so we increased the word demand, and we have it in there twice now, and we put the word planning in there so that not only does the word plan show up and planner, but also planning shows up also. All right, so there we go. That's it for today's lesson.
Remember, the goal of this lesson, the point of this lesson was use the appropriate keywords on your CV. Find out what they are, make a list of them, make sure they appear on your CV. And remember, your CV can always be improved. You can always use these same rules. They never get old. So improve your CV, and then improve your CV again, and then improve your CV again. My name is Matt Kraus. I am the CV doctor in Istanbul, Turkey. Thanks for watching. Talk to you soon.